This is Financial Straight Talk with Jim Fox.
Back on this week's edition of Financial Straight Talk, it's all powered by Wadadley Financial Group. With Jim Fox, he is the founder, president, and investment advisor representative, and about 17 other titles that we'll continue to work on those. I just say he's the Financial Straight Talker, and he's the star of the show. I think that covers most of our bases, right?
I mean, a star is pushing a little bit. I mean, you help me shine, brother. It is not. I'm just a redneck from Florida, man. That's all I am. So, but I'll take the compliment. How's that?
There you go. Well, it's great. When we talked about it earlier in the show, it's great to actually be in the same room.
That's awesome.
And I got to be honest, I'm really excited to get down your way this week coming up. Get a chance to see this fancy setup you've got in your office.
Pretty fancy. I mean, local artist table, which is going to be really cool. I mean, it's kind of like the highlight of the office, in my opinion. And man, we love it, and we're excited to have you down there.
Well, let's try this at some point, maybe later this year. Get down there, come to one. I want to see a Jim Fox workshop in person.
Love it. Well, the invitation is always open for you.
All right, we're gonna make it happen.
Make it happen, man.
Get a cold beer while we're at it along the way.
There's no alcohol that I'm paying for at your workshops.
I'm on my own. Well, you know what? I'll buy you one.
It's so funny because we'll tell people, hey, look, Jim can't buy. He's not permitted to buy alcohol during the workshop. So it's just so I don't have to pay for people's drinks.
There you go.
If I can't drink, they can't drink. Okay,
that's a good point.
At least if I can't get a free drink out of it, I'm not going to do it either. Okay,
you got a free one on me. How's that?
Yeah, there we go. That's what I'm talking about, man.
Hey, let's talk about this because I know that we talk so much about all the different pieces that go into a retirement plan.
Worst topic ever, too. But yeah, go ahead. I just read it. I try not to look at this stuff ahead of time, but Kevin, I'm not a huge fan of yours right now. But go ahead.
Okay.
Continue. Let's go.
Let's talk about this because one of the things that obviously we talk a lot about that is sort of that missing piece of a lot of folks' plan is long-term care. And a lot of folks have watched it play out for parents, grandparents, things of that nature. Many remain, though, in denial that it could happen to them, Jim. And they worry about that. They talk about the high cost they would have to pay. Listen to this. A recent study by Boston College predicts more than 80% will need help at some point. So the question I have for you is, when it comes to a retirement plan, why is long-term care so low on the priority list?
So it's funny because this has probably been the one little weak spot that I've identified for years and years and years because I don't sell long-term care insurance. I won't sell long-term care insurance. I'm just not going to do it. It's just like one of those bars. I can't be the guy that sold you the policy that isn't paying for your whatever procedure or whatever. I can't do that, right? Mm-hmm. So long-term care has always been an issue. And why is it so different for different people? Well, really simple, man. If you watched your mother or your grandmother or your father go through this, it resonates a whole lot differently than if you never did, right? Mm-hmm. So not everybody has a family member that goes through it. Like, I'll give you a great example. My dad, he retired and, his heart kind of gave out on him. And a few weeks later, he was gone.
Wow.
My mom, she ended up with some kidney issues. She had dialysis and she's gone. Mm-hmm. So most people, I'd say the vast majority, just end up dying. But there's another group of people that get sick, then enter into a need where they have to be taken care of, right? And the worst is the structural issues, right? Like so many people are dealing with, with back issues or hip issues, and the mobility becomes a problem. Plumbing's good, electric's good, right, but they need someone to help them get in and out of showers. This stuff gets expensive. And I've had it happen so many times. I mean, just in our area, this is just the reality of what I'm seeing. I am seeing dementia happening at an alarming rate. I don't know why. Maybe it's because I'm getting older and my client base is getting older. Maybe that's the issue. But why are we seeing dementia after dementia after dementia? And the thing about dementia is typically, in most cases, it's the husband that gets it seems like. Mm-hmm. So he kind of doesn't know. I mean, just to be real with you. Right. But guess who does? The 70-year-old wife who's trying to take care of the 70-year-old man, dragging him in and out of showers. It's not long before she's got problems too, right? So I always tell people it is and I joke around about, that's the worst topic. This is the worst topic because the best time to buy long-term care, Kevin, is your age. Mm-hmm. And maybe on the upper end of it, my age. Guess what we don't need? Long-term care. Yeah. There's 100 other things we're going to spend money on.
Sure.
Now, by the time we get to the point to where we need long-term care and we understand that we really want long-term care, one of two things have happened. One, you're either have enough problems that you can't get it, or number two, If you don't have a heart problem, wait till they tell you how much it's going to cost because you'll have one, right? So it's either money or health issues.
Yeah.
So how did we solve this problem? Well, sometimes it's as simple as this. And I'm going to tell you right now, you guys can steal this. This isn't the ideal long-term care, but I want you to think logically for a second. Kevin, how many times have you heard me in 6 months? How long?
About 6 months. Yeah.
How many times have you heard me use the term bucket strategy?
719.
Exactly. And you know what? I have a bucket strategy for long-term care too. I create a bucket for you and you stick it over here. And I don't care if that bucket's a CD. I don't care if that bucket's a money market account. I don't care if that bucket's a dividend fund. I don't care what it is. But we earmark that bucket for long-term care needs. If you ever get sick, you have 50, 100, 200, whatever money you have can sit over there. And if you need it, you use it.
Right.
If you never need it, well, guess what? Your family gets it. And if you decide, you know what? I've been diagnosed with cancer. I'm only going to live 8 months or 12 months. You can go buy a Ferrari with it. I don't care. But that's one way of looking at long-term care. There are other ways to do it. Asset-based long-term care. So that's a funky name for an annuity, basically, right? But where they're interesting is you can, I'm not a huge annuity fan because I think that people misuse them often in our area. But you can go out and you can purchase, maybe put $100,000 in something that'll generate $3,000, $5,000 a year for you if you ever need it. But if you die, the money goes to your family. There's all these different solutions when it comes to long-term care. But the problem is we live in the world, and I think you said denial was what you said at the beginning of this. And the reality is long-term care does not resonate with me. How crazy is that?
Right.
I do this for a living and I see it. Do you know where long-term care in my ranking is for me personally? Like as close to the bottom as my budget for Bloody Marys. It's right around that point, right? I mean, it's point because I don't think about that. Michelle's family lives to 312, okay?
Right.
So they're never going to die. And everything says I'm just going to keel over and die one day. And the way I yell sometimes, it might be today, right?
No.
But the whole point is we all have this very personal approach to it. My job isn't to tell you what is and is not important to you. My job is to break down the mathematics behind retirement. Do I have some form of money that would be set aside for long-term care if I need it? I actually do. I have a bucket. It's not important to me, but I have money set off to the side. And if we ever get sick, that's what we're going to fall back on. My question for you, though, and not you, Kevin, but the audience, is that what happens if tomorrow your spouse was to be diagnosed with dementia? Now, in the beginning, that's easy, right? Because, it's like, what do they call it? Sundowners, sunsetters, whatever.
Sunset, yeah.
See, we don't even know, right?
Yeah.
But sooner or later, that progresses and that gets worse and worse and worse. So my whole point to this is when you build a financial plan, and I want you just to kind of walk through this. I have what I call a summary sheet at the end of every meeting that we have with somebody. And we talk about risk. We talk about taxation. We talk about the probability of running out of money. We talk about, a legacy planning. And the last bullet point that we talk about is long-term care. The one common theme we get amongst everybody is I don't want to be a burden on my kids or my family if I ever get sick. So my question for you is, as you're buying annuities and you're buying mutual funds and you're buying stocks and you're buying crypto and you're buying savings bonds and CDs, all those ingredients, remember we talked about spaghetti at the beginning of the show? You have all these. How is that going to build your perfect meal for retirement? How is it going to do it? Because it's just a bunch of ingredients. Right. We need to sit down with you, and this is where the importance of a plan comes into play. You've got to have a game plan, regardless of if it's living all the way to 100 or only making it to 65 or 70. A plan is what matters. And that's where we take all of this information and we make sure that we cover all the things that matter to you. Each and every one of you listen to me right now, you have a different goal. You have a different idea of what retirement looks like. Our job is to sit down and show you first and foremost is if that goal and the money you saved, it's not a reality, because sometimes you don't have enough money to do all the things you want to do. You want to find that out, though, before you run out of money, right?
Sure, no doubt.
So we sit down and we break this down into each individual piece. Every single one of you need to be thinking about long-term care, even if it's not that important, even if it's just $25,000 or $50,000 in a bond somewhere, even if it's in a dividend. I don't care what it's in. We need to have those structured plans. We need that bucket strategy. But understand, it all comes down to having a plan. If you don't have a plan, you have no idea what you're doing. That's what we do each and every day. I get it. Everybody on the radio is like, I'm going to sell you this plan. Our plans are completely free. All right. You come into our office and we're going to show you what makes sense. Regardless of if you work with us or not, you're going to walk out the door having a better understanding. I dare to say that the vast majority of you listening right now don't even have a plan.
Right.
You might have some mutual funds. You might have some stocks, bonds, savings bonds, all this other stuff. But what you don't have is how this plan is going to benefit me. How's it going to benefit my family? Guys, that's what we do day in and out. And I want to encourage you, pick up that phone, give my team a call right now. They're standing by. 321-414-7526. Again, 321-414-PLAN.
Kind of reminds me of a football team, right? You have a playbook, right? Mm-hmm. You might have a good play or two, but that's not the game plan, right? You need to have that complete game plan. Yeah. And obviously, there's so many different pieces that go into that game plan. And let's be honest, Jim, I know a lot of our listeners, they're probably DIYers. They like to try to do this themselves. Retirement's not something you want to try to go along.
Yeah, I mean, I think Kevin, I would somewhat disagree with that, because most people you're 100% accurate on. There's some people that come in and they hit a home run.
Really?
And let me tell you, when you do, our analytics show that you hit a home run.
Yeah.
And I can count on probably one hand how many people have ever done that. And it's awesome when they do. Uh-huh. What we do is mathematical. It is not emotional. That means if your numbers are where they're supposed to be, it is going to show up when we run the reports. And if it is, I pat you on the back. Very rarely do I see somebody who's knocked it out of the park. My question for you is, if you don't pick up the phone, if you don't come in, how do you know if your plan's on track or not? Mm-hmm. That's the big thing. And I get it. You're worried someone's going to try and sell you something. Let me tell you one more time. Nothing's for sale. Pick up the phone, call us. We'll run these reports. You walk out the door. We'll never see you again if that's what you want, but at least you'll have a better idea if you're on track to do the things you want to do.
321-414-7526 is the number. Again, it's 321-414-PLAN. Online, you can reach Jim Fox and Wadadley Financial Group today at getfst.com. My friend, we got about a minute left in the show, and like we do each and every week, I'm going to leave the floor all yours for the final word.
Kevin, thanks so much. Well, guys, every week we want to say thank you. We know that you got tons of options when it comes to getting financial information, and we're just honored to be one of those resources. So like Kevin said, if there's anything we can do, pick up the phone, give us a call. We're here to answer those questions. But with all that being said, on behalf of myself and Mr. Kevin Mack, I want to thank you so much for listening, and we'll see you next time on the Financial Straight Talk.
Thanks for listening to Financial Straight Talk with Jim Fox. To learn more, visit getfst.com.
Insurance products are offered through the insurance business Wadadley Financial Group. Wadadley Financial Group is also an investment advisory practice that offers products and services through Impact Partnership Wealth LLC IPW, a registered investment advisor. IPW does not offer insurance products. The insurance products offered by Wadadley Financial Group are not subject to investment advisor requirements. Investing involves risk, including the potential loss of principal. Any references to protection, safety, or lifetime income generally refer to fixed insurance products, never securities or investments. Insurance guarantees are backed by the financial strength and claims paying abilities of the issuing carrier. This show is intended for informational purposes only. It is not intended to be used as the sole basis for financial decisions, nor should it be construed as advice designed to meet the particular needs of an individual's situation. Wadadley Financial Group is not permitted to offer, and no statement made during this show shall constitute tax or legal advice. Our firm is not affiliated with or endorsed by the U.S. government or any government agency. The information and opinions contained herein provided by third parties have been obtained from sources believed to be reliable, but accuracy and completeness cannot be guaranteed by Wadadley Financial Group.